Good day, everyone. Good day, ma'am. My name is Ken Roydan. I am the first presenter of the chapter 3, which is the function of philosophy of art. What is function of arts? Function of arts is simplified art is created to serve different purpose in life. Every form of art has a function. It means and needs express idea or helps people understand the world better. And there are seven different functions of art. The first one is artistics, which means beauty. Artistic function art helps people see and appreciate beauty in nature and a human creation. For example, a beautiful painting or a landscape arts that people enjoy looking at. And the second example is song that sounds pleasing or relaxing to our ears. And the second one of the function of art is utilitarian function. Usefulness is the small word for that. Usefulness. Art makes life more comfortable, convenient, and enjoyable by serving practical needs. Example, house buildings or kanang mga agriculture architectures and clothes with attractive designs, furniture, furnitures, lamps and tools, and kitchenwares. And the number three is cultural function. From the word cultural is traditions and heritage. Art preserve and pieces of some culture and tradition skills and knowledge from one generation to another, like traditional Filipino dance like tinikling, folk songs, patterns, and textile and cultural festivals. And the number four is social function. From the word social, unity and relationship to each other. Art brings people together and promotes understanding, cooperation, and harmony. For example of that is moral promotion, peace, or helping communities. Posters encouraging unity and cooperations. And number five of the function of art is political function. From the word political, idea, and identity. Art express political ideas, supports leaders or movements, and strengthen national or group identity. For example, political posters and cartoons, national monuments, or patriotic songs. And number six is educational function. Nanagid ang word diha na educational, so it means learnings. Art helps teach ideas, value, or information that may be difficult to explain using words alone. So we need some image too. So magamit ang art yapunana, educational charts, symbols, and diagrams, illustration and textbooks and infographics. And the last one of our function of art is spiritual function. From the word spiritual, belief or faith. Art expressed in a spiritual or religional belief, rituals, and the meaning of life. For example, church painting and statues, religion musics, and ceremonial spiritualities. As and that is the last one of function of art. And this is the simple summary that I add for this topic. Art is important because it makes life beautiful, useful, and meaningful, educational, and connected to the culture, society, political, and spiritual. And that for my part. So thank you everyone. Goodbye.
So good evening ma'am, good evening everyone. I am Aiza Magalion and I will be reporting about the philosophy of arts and the five philosophical perspectives of art. Philosophy of arts refers to the study of the nature of arts, its concept, interpretations, expression, and form. Philosophy of arts is closely related to aesthetics. which is the study of the beauty and the taste. So here we have the 5 philosophical perspective of arts. First, we have art as a mimesis. The word mimesis is a Greek word which means imitations or copying. Although it may also mean representation, the philosopher of Plato and Aristotle spoke of mimesis as the representation of nature. Involves diverse human ways art, science, literature, culture to depict. Understand and interpret the non-human world, moving behind mere imitations to convey meaning. Plato believed that all artistic creation is a mimesis. It exists in the world in of ideas and is created by God. The concrete things that man created are just shadows created by man's mind. All artists are imitators of nature. So, according to Plato, ang art, like, imitations lang siya. Like, it came from the God. Like, sa tuwa na siyang mind. That's why we create, or like, shadows lang siya sa tuang beliefs. Sa katao na mind. Aristotle speaks of tragedy as an imitation of an action, that of a man falling from a higher to a lower state. Thus, when an artist skillfully select and present a material, that artist is purposely seeking to imitate or copy the action of life. Art as a mimesis or imitation. So according to Plato, art is just an imitations of the human mind, the man's mind. Like for example, katong painting na share, like it is just an imitations of the physical share. So then, and according to Aristotle pod, art is a representations of our emotion. But ni agree siya ni Plato na it is an imitation, but siyang gi-argue niya na representative lang siya, representation lang siya sa ato ang emotion, sa fear, pity, something like that. So, second, we have art as a representation. Art represents something. When artist uses signs and symbols to take the place of something else, he is using art as a representations of such signs and symbols. It is our representation that people organize the world and reality through the act of naming its elements. Signs and symbols are arranged in order to form semantic constructions and express relations with other things. So, tuning sa audience nila pag-represent gali ang ilahang art, nag-use ba sila mga symbols, mga signs. The third one is art for art's sake, or l'art for art. Is the rallying cry of formalism and aestheticism. It argues that art should be judged solely on its own terms, free from any obligation to be useful, moral, or educational. This perspective argues that art is defined by the purpose it serves. If it doesn't do something like educate, inspire, or protest, is it really an art? Moral social function thinkers like Marxists or social critic argue that art should be a tool for social change or reflections of power structures in society. The art for art's sake counter view, this movement supported by figures like Oscar Wilde argue that opposite the art needs no functions other than being just beautiful. Like, it does not need no justification. So when you are like doing an art or making an art, it does not mean that it should be that it has an obligate that it needs an obligation to be useful, like for protest, moral, or educational. Art is something that na imong gibuhat. It does not need to be useful, or like when someone sees that art, like they can say that, oh, it's for something, it's for like that. No, you can make art without thinking like it must help or it must contain something like that. That's the function of art, or this art as a sake. Number 4, art as an escape. According to Alan Winston, without mental escape, we build up a lot of anxiety within ourselves. Artists have to get rid of this anxiety and pressure because if we keep this worries and anxiety within our mind, they will come out in the form of anger and hatred. Unfortunately, such anger and hatred are often taken out to the wrong people. And according to Scenarist and others 2008, the artist's works of art reveal the emotional outburst that has been kept for many years in their mind. The only way to take out such tension is through painting, dancing, music, and other art forms. They are the character solutions to one's anxiety and life's difficulties. Likewise, the awareness that these works of art created among the viewers may also lead to positive or negative emotional reactions. So, art as an escape. So, a lot of artists, ano sila ba? Like, ang art is an escape for them kay. So, according to Alan Winston, we need a mental escape or a mental break. Mental break. So, instead of kana ato ang mapuno na to pagtaman sa anxiety and ato mga worries and stuff, ato na lang siya ipagawas through art. Kay basta niya kadugay-dugay na mapuno na to pagtaman, mapagawas na siya sa tao, kung ano siya ito, hatred and anger, so malahi nagsabot and magka-chaos na ang tanan. So instead of that, ilala lang ipagawas sa art, through art like dancing, music, painting, and lastly, we have art as functional. The artist's intent in creating a functional piece of art is to bring creativity, beauty, and usefulness into people's everyday lives. Whether it's a curvy, clear mind made of cardboard, a banka made of paper, a functional art makes us rethink and reassess the way we look at ordinary things, sometimes by using unusual materials in their construction. So, it's true, no? Art is a functional. Like, we use art, like, basta kung saan ito makitaan, we can use that to make an art. So, creative ang art. It is creative indeed. So, yung dire sa art is a functional, may tatag mga gamit na magamit na to make an art. So, pakita sa katao, ma-rethink nila, ay, pwede, kanina din na butang, pwede din yung mahimo na art. Instead of, like, atong mga recycle na to, atong ilabay lang nato mga plastic bottle, pwede din siya natong magamit, like, mapatsyada nato siya, nahimo siyang art, kaysa ato na lang ilabay-labay na magkalat, dira pasagdaan na lang. That's all. Thank you.